You use AI to save time, but somehow you still end up spending hours polishing robotic paragraphs or chasing down facts to make sure it didn't hallucinate a fake statistic. The mistake we make is treating all large language models as if they are identical, interchangeable chatbots. You type in a prompt, you expect a perfect answer. But beneath the text box, these systems are built for entirely different purposes. This diagram illustrates the two ways a generic prompt can fail. On the left, we see a creative but factually wrong narrative. On the right, a stiff, robotic but heavily cited paragraph. To understand why they behave so differently, we have to look at their DNA. They were built on two separate blueprints. Perplexity operates as a retrieval engine, the meticulous librarian who finds exactly what you need. Claude works as a reasoning engine, the deep-thinking editor who structures your thoughts. Once you stop asking the librarian to write your essays and stop asking the editor to fetch today's news, your output quality improves. I'm going to show you exactly how to map your tasks to these tools and the workflow you need to combine them. Matching the correct AI architecture to the specific task is the only way to produce professional-grade work without losing the speed AI promises in the first place. Perplexity operates as an answer engine. Its primary function is to crawl the live internet the moment you hit enter. This cyan pillar represents Perplexity's core functions. If you need the latest market trends or Federal Reserve news, you go here. It scans the web in real time, returning a synthesized answer with clickable, inline citations to verify claims. But that focus on accuracy creates a trade-off. Because Perplexity prioritizes verifiable facts, it sacrifices narrative flow and stylistic nuance. When asked to write an engaging blog intro or draft a thoughtful email, the result is dry and sterile, reading like an encyclopedia entry. Perplexity is an unmatched tool for gathering and verifying data. It is a poor choice for drafting final, human-facing content. Claude is a thinking partner designed for deep logic and complex narrative structure. On the right side, we see Claude's reasoning-first architecture. Its massive context window can digest a 200-page legal document, maintaining context across long conversations. It grasps nuance, understands tone, and produces human-like, publish-ready prose. The trade-off is that Claude operates inside a walled garden. Its knowledge is limited to its training data, without native live web access. Warning tone. If you ask Claude about today's stock market or breaking news, you are asking for trouble. It will either decline or, worse, try to satisfy your prompt by hallucinating a plausible-sounding fiction. Claude is the ultimate tool for structured thinking and high-quality writing, provided the user supplies the verified facts first. Let's see how these architectures handle a high-stakes problem requiring execution, like debugging a failing Python script or diagnosing a sudden 20% drop in revenue. Paste that scenario into Perplexity, and it treats it like a search query. It retrieves Python documentation or lists generic business best practices for customer retention. It lacks execution-level depth. If your code requires a multi-step sequential fix, Perplexity might introduce a critical logic error because it is summarizing external solutions rather than reasoning through your specific code. Put that exact same problem into Claude, and the response is entirely different. It reasons through the issue step by step. It identifies root causes, separates symptoms from the actual disease, and builds a structured, custom solution matrix. But power users need to know the operational limit here. Deep, iterative reasoning consumes massive amounts of tokens. A heavy session of coding or strategy in Claude will chew through your usage limits quickly, even if you are on a paid pro plan. For deep execution, strategy, and coding, a reasoning engine vastly outperforms a retrieval engine. Highest quality work comes from using these tools in sequence, rather than choosing one over the other. This central overlapping circle identifies the synergy between retrieval and reasoning. It leverages one tool to feed the other. Step 1. Task Perplexity with research. Ask it to gather market data, verify facts, and provide specific citations. Step 2. Feed those constraints directly into Claude. Prompt Claude to draft the final narrative, using its reasoning to structure the argument and apply your tone. This creates friction. You're managing two distinct user interfaces. You are context switching between tabs, and you are paying roughly $40 a month to maintain two separate pro subscriptions. Multimodal workspace aggregators, like Zemeth, exist to exactly solve this problem. They house both models in one tab, so you can do your Perplexity-style research and your Claude-style writing in the same window. Whether you pay for 2 subscriptions or use an aggregator, enduring the friction of a dual workflow is the necessary price for achieving content that is both meticulously accurate and stylistically flawless. Final recommendations depend on your role. If you are an academic, a working journalist, or a data analyst, you should bias entirely toward Perplexity. Your currency is truth, and you need verifiable citations. The quality of the prose is a secondary concern when accuracy is the priority. If you are a novelist, a software developer, or a copywriter, you should bias toward Claude. Your currency is logic, structure, and narrative flow. As long as you can supply your own external research, Claude is the superior partner. But if you're a strategist, a digital marketer, or a startup founder, the high-output generalists, you must adopt the dual sequential workflow. Your roles demand absolute accuracy to inform business decisions and high-quality presentation to communicate them. You cannot afford to compromise on either. In 2026, true proficiency means orchestrating these specialized engines to handle the specific tasks they were engineered for.